Once the nanocables arrive at their destination, they can begin the sync process. They slide into the brain like roots of a tree. And on the tip of each cable, the nanomachine sends and receives data. This is controlled by the Wadjet system. And that's how the syncer and the subject exchange information.
I feel like there'd be so much testing involved to get this working. Like, we wouldn't be the first people to have this.
Exchange?
Think of it this way. The human brain has a max capacity of one psyche, one consciousness.
Multiple instances of consciousness inside one brain can cause a total collapse of higher brain functions.
Citation, please?
You know how a car only has one steering wheel? If there were two, there would be accidents all over the place.
You can have cars with more than one steering wheel. You teach. I swear I've seen a car with more than one stop, like for teaching purposes.
Well, don't some planes have 2 control sticks?
Okay, maybe it wasn't the best metaphor. What I'm trying to say is that the human body can only hold one person. If you try to have 2 people inside one brain, it will break.
I see.
I mean, I still don't know where you're getting that from for sure.
Because of this, the syncer's data goes inside the subject's brain. And the only thing inside the subject's mind at the time of the sync are their memories. Like a house with no one inside. We syncers break into the house, look for clues, and leave. All within 6 minutes.
There's a time limit?
Yes, or else the house will collapse on our heads.
The neural circuits would become too deeply entwined with one another. To put it simply, the syncer would be trapped inside the subject's house.
Summarize.
Thank you for explaining it. I don't completely understand how sync works, but still.
Just don't tell anyone. This is extremely
Yeah,
confidential.
we shouldn't have told you, to be honest.
It's okay, I won't. Date, tell me this. Who did you sync with yesterday?
Didn't I show you his picture? Congressman So Sejima.
So that's why you know so much about him.
But you've never met him, right?
I haven't, I swear. Hey, Date, you saw my corpse here, right?
I did. I'm sure of it.
And in SoStream, you saved me from getting killed.
Yeah.
And then somehow, I resurrected.
Yeah.
You know what actually happened because you were
Date, that means you're...
insane.
Date, is the cold too much for Iris?
Yeah, I'm freezing too.
It's a bit weird we're having this
Iris,
conversation here.
let's get out of here for now.
Roger that!
Why do we have the option to go to the diner? Let's go to the shrine.
You okay?
It's okay. I just, missed a step there.
Shrine. The Shinto shrine. Driver solemn. Sacred straw rope. Guardian dog. Tree. Offering box. Bell. Lantern. Arch. Chozuya. Wash your hands and face here. Iris is looking off into the distance. Your thoughts?
It's nostalgic.
A penny for them.
This place is a memorable one for me. 6 years ago, I used to come here with someone.
Someone?
I used to call him Uncle. He was a thoughtful, reliable man. I thought of him as a father.
You really like
But
murdering
one day,
people.
he just disappeared.
She's talking about...
Hitomi's lover.
Have they not figured out that that's 89? About the shrine.
It's called Ikume Iribiko Isachi no Mikoto, or sometimes Ikume Tenno, or Ikume no Mikoto.
Yeah, if you're having
There
a
are
bit of fun.
legends about this place written in the old texts. It's a shrine dedicated to the gods. The old legend goes like this. One day, Ikume Iribiko sent one of his followers, Taji Momori, on an urgent quest to find a mysterious magical fruit. A fruit called Tokijiku no Kaku. It's said that eating it will grant you immortality. After many hardships, Taji Momori was able to find the fruit. But by the time he got back, Ikume Iribiko had died.
No.
Taji Momori mourned. He handed half of the fruit to the man's wife, and he left the other half on Ikume Iribiko's grave, then died on the spot. It is said that that fruit is still inside the shrine behind us.
Really? The fruit of immortality.
Yes.
About this uncle.
When you asked me why I became an idol, I wasn't being entirely truthful. I told you that it was because I wanted to become famous. But more specifically, it was for Uncle. I've been looking for him for 6 years, but I didn't find him anywhere. I didn't know where else to look, so instead of me finding him, I thought that he could find me instead.
You think if you became famous, he'd contact you?
That's a
Yeah.
dumb plan.
So
I'll
that
just
is
become
how she
famous.
became an idol.
I mean, it's also been my dream since I was little. That's a part of it, too.
So why do you use the name Aset? Shouldn't you use your real name?
Oh no, I don't have to. He was the one who came up with the name Aset. He told me that if I ever became an idol, I should use that name.
Immortality, huh?
Not interested?
No, not really. I'd rather have normality than immortality.
Kept you waiting, huh? About Venju.
Mr. Okura isn't here. I mean, of course he isn't. It's not like we came here right away.
He's already taken off.
Too bad.
It looks like there are no further clues here. It appears we've wasted our time.
Yeah, but we've not finished the conversation. What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
A flower over there.
Flower?
You can't see it from here, can you?
No, I'm not
I
allowed
know
to
it's
turn my
there
head
because
that
I've
far.
been to this shrine before.
What's Iris looking at? Curious about the flower Iris is looking at. Is it an iris? One of these? A flower. I don't know why the
An iris.
night vision. I told
More
you.
specifically, a winter iris.
Yes, of course it is.
This is the same flower that was on display at Iris's house.
You're looking at a winter iris, aren't you?
Yeah. How did you know?
Magic eye?
It's the same kind that's at my house.
No?
I told you about what it means, right?
Good news and hope.
Iris is also a part of the eye, and the Greek goddess of rainbows. She delivered messages from the gods. That's why the flower means good news and hope.
Winter iris. Summarize.
Date, we have no time to waste. We should get moving.
Got it.
Fish pocket. I saw a familiar face as I entered. It was Mizuki. Iris and I set at Mizuki's table.
Wow, this is surprising. What's going on here? Why are you two together?
Oh, well, it's...
Forget it. Thanks for letting me stay last night.
Oh, no trouble at all. Anytime. You can even live with me if you want.
That's a great idea. The roommate I have right now really sucks.
This girl.
Customer! Looks bored on the outside, but I bet he's nervous as hell. I understand, man, I do. Just waiting for the right time. Counter. Pictures of mermaids. Got cool, but on the inside. Other mermaids are working hard. Who shows on the chests are working hard too? Yes, of course, in their own way. Keep-headed girls. Box. Empty wooden box. A table. Kitchen window.
You wanker! Do you not know how to prepare a monkfish? Sorry, chef.
Real interesting place. Kitchen window. You can hear yelling. It's a sign. It's all signboard. There's some fish pocket. It's a light that looks like a jellyfish. A trident. Yeah. What are you doing here?
What are you gonna do? Scold me or something? Why do you care what I do?
Why are you so angry?
I'm not angry. In fact, I'm feeling good.
Excuse me.
The mermaid took me to the corner of the store.
Mizuki was crying earlier.
Crying?
Yes. We were trying to cheer her up. What happened to her mom was... And we thought she was having a hard time. She must have come here looking for company. That's probably why she stayed with Iris last night. She didn't want to be alone.
Shoko's body is still under the jurisdiction of the police.
Why are we talking about some random...
There has not been a
Maid.
ceremony, nor has the body been cremated. The culprit has not been caught, and we cannot locate Renju. And on top of that, her roommate has abandoned her.
I did not abandon her.
In any case, there are many ways you could calm Mizuki down.
Mizuki is just trying to act strong. Please, try to understand.
You don't need to tell me this. I know this. Oh, hang on. Menu.
Eating sushi off a naked woman for 780 yen?
Oh, that sign is wrong. Someone added letters. It's supposed to say Nitayamori, boiled newt.
Okay, that pun probably is a lot funnier, or at least makes more sense in Japanese. Boiled newt.
Oh,
Yeah, they couldn't translate it.
boiled nude, 780 yen.
Honestly, that's almost as intriguing as the body sushi. Newts aren't even fish. No, you needed it for the pun, I get it. What's your relationship with Mizuki?
Mizuki comes here a lot. She's really friendly with everyone.
I like it here. Everyone treats me nice.
Is it because you're the daughter of the owner?
No, it's not like that.
We're BFFs.
She wields extraordinary power with that trident.
The Okiura family is really something else.
What, was Renju here?
I've heard that Renju was sighted here.
When do you mean?
When? I got the info a few minutes ago, but I don't know when he was seen.
Oh.
Ringing any bells?
Well, he hasn't come by today, but yesterday...
Yesterday? But I was here yesterday.
It was after that. After you and Ota left.
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
You didn't ask. And I don't have any way to contact you.
Damn it.
We just missed him.
Do you know this mermaid?
She's my friend from back when I worked here. We would hang out outside of work, too. We'd go to haunted places and UFO sightings and stuff.
Blow those boys away!
Blow those boys away!
Yeah, blow those boys.
Mizuki, you really shouldn't say that.
Right. Rusty drum. So I'm assuming that the dead body we saw was one of the other mermaids, because they all be about, they all have about the same height and frame and all. And look, there's lots of them. They've made a point of making. Look, they've all got unique models. You just have to put a wig on one of them. And you got yourself a spare Iris. What was he doing here?
He was looking for Iris. He was asking everyone where she was. Looking for me? Yeah.
Did he give a reason?
No, not in particular.
Iris, can you think of why he would be looking for you?
No, not
she
at
works
all.
for him. There's plenty
Mizuki?
of work.
I don't know either.
About Okiura Fishery Warehouse.
Why are you asking me about that?
I was just curious.
That company was made by my grandpa, but Daddy has nothing to do with it. I don't know anything about the warehouse.
I'll avenge you.
The police asked me a bunch of questions, but I don't know where he is. I thought I told you this already. Don't ask me the same questions over and over.
Date, look.
She's lying?
Possibly. She may just be excited or upset.
It's almost as if thermograph isn't a good way of telling if people are lying. She's sitting there. Anything else you can tell me about Renju?
Anything else? Well, he did seem really sick. He was pale and sweating a lot.
Must have been because of the accident.
Perhaps.
About Renju?
Mr. Okiura helped me when I was just starting out. You know how my mom is single? He really supported her. He even changed my diaper when I was a little baby. I got hired by Lemniscape all because of him.
Iris used to stream all her own content. Like singing and dancing and gaming and stuff. But before we knew it, she went viral.
Right, I heard about that. That's how she started getting offers, right? But because Iris's mom knows Renju, she decided to go with Lemniscape.
But there's more to it than that. There are other reasons. Daddy was totally taken in by her talent.
Her talent?
Dancing, really. Her dancing is what got her into Lemniscape. He knew ever since she was young that she would be talented. He didn't want any other agencies to have her.
I didn't know that.
Daddy's not the type to give compliments.
This is kind of embarrassing. I didn't know he thought of me that way.
About your visitor last night.
Iris, I still need to know. What were you doing Sunday at 2 a.m.?
You haven't fulfilled your promise.
This is the date. I fulfilled my promise.
I told you. No info until the date is complete. Don't you get it?
You know
This
somebody's
date
been
isn't
murdered,
over
Iris. Like, literally, her mum, I guess, in a different universe, her dad as well. But, like, you like dancing, right?
More than sleeping and eating? Well, maybe about the same as eating. Anyway, I've always loved moving my body, ever since I was a little girl.
And you're fast, too.
Yeah, I did a lot of track meets. Were you always the anchor? Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
I don't know what that means.
I told you that Iris is the goddess of rainbows in Greek mythology, right? She was the messenger of the gods. She had to be really fast.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just your
Rainbows
name.
being so fast to disappear was the source of the legend.
You're as fast as your namesake, then.
You want to race?
Sure, when we get the chance.
Could you show me your dance? Be like a really important dance or something.
Right here?
Oh, I want to see too.
Me too.
I would also like to see that.
I don't know.
What?
Come on,
You've
just
just been told your character trait is that you dance anyway.
All right, I'll go set up. Wait!
Mermaid didn't listen and hurried off.
Jeez. Fine, if you insist. Yay! Iris, we're ready. All right, world, get ready. See my dance. Invincible Rainbow Arrow. Hit it.
teacups that are flying on maps mystifying. You'll think that I'm lying. This old tale of mine, a journey through time. A permanent fire, cold frost on the pyre. Fruit never expires. You've seen in your eyes, you've seen in your life. While the old bow their heads, while the blind meet the blind, the marble loses shine. The eye clouds by design, but we know in our soul the one hope, the one truth, that if we believe we can make miracles. Even with the dabbles of time against you, never let the fire fade in you. See the golden goddess with wings of rainbows set sail through the night sky to embrace you. Resist all of your heart to take you. Never let the sparks of this world erase you. Passing down the light of the torch to guide you, and you shall be bathed in light.
Just try and look slightly less confused. The concept of singing and dancing. Woo! More like best. That doesn't work, does it? Okay. No. What was I going to say? Oh,
That
yes.
song. Mr. Okira wrote the music, and I wrote the lyrics.
What I was supposed to say.
So it holds a special place in my heart.
Was my
That's
word.
right. I forgot he wrote music.
Truly a once, a once in a generation talent at dancing there. Obviously, lyrics had to all be translated from one language to another, and singing styles. The song was written with a particular singing style and language in mind. I appreciate that would have been difficult as fuck to translate, so I won't, say anything bad about the actual song. But I don't know, it didn't seem like her dancing was that good.
Yeah, he's really talented. I look up to him. He's done so much for me. I know I can rely on him more than anyone else.
Looks how good you could do the dance, John. No, you wouldn't. I'm not saying it was a bad dance. I'm just saying it's not a dance that I'd be like, nobody else can have that dance. It's my dance. Summarize for me.
Unfortunately, we didn't find Renju here.
But we discovered that he was looking for Iris.
But why?
We can think about that later. Let's get going.
Yeah, you're right.
Does it die now? For some reason?
I'm so hungry.
Tessa? Why are you here?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I told Date I was hungry, so
Oh, fair enough.
I've always wanted to eat here.
I'll have my usual, Ota.
Yes, right away.
Ota flew into the kitchen. Iris watched him go and took a seat. Counter. Stool. Table. Chair.
Dante, a Martian!
That's just a stool.
Poster.
Date, you're drooling.
Oh, I'm just really hungry.
Oh,
Photograph.
that's Hayashi Samba's Hayashi Vangole.
Who?
Mop. Chopsticks. Window. Lucky cat.
Meow.
Huh?
What are you doing?
Oh, you don't know? It's good luck to imitate a cat in front of one of these.
Really?
Meow? Guess I'll have good luck.
Bookshelf. It's got stickers on the side of it. Round chair. There's a menu on the table.
Kuroda Kazuaki's grilled tongue with salt.
Photo. Swinging door. Menu. Low table. Kid seat.
Look, a chair for baby goats!
Why would anyone bring a goat to a restaurant?
You bring goat to restaurants all the time. How else are you supposed to prepare goat? Small sitting cushion.
Date, wanna have a pillow fight?
Tessa, not in the store, please.
Fortune says good luck. It's November, but the calendar says January. Looking closely, it's even the year is wrong. This is old. The clock. It's a clock.
Hey, what has two hands on its face?
A mom playing peekaboo!
Yeah, exactly.
Where's your mum?
She's in the living room. I think she's watching TV.
How about you? What are you doing here?
I was just doing some meditation, lying on the ground.
He means sleeping.
Date, why are you with Tessa?
It's a good question, Ota.
We are
Not Shovel Forge.
on a date.
Oh, a date.
A date.
Huh. A date?
A date?
I'm on an investigation, and she wouldn't let me go.
Date, I have some delicious fugu eggs. I promise they're not poisoned. Would you like some?
No thanks. I'm fine.
You're good at cooking, huh?
Yeah. My dad taught me when I was little.
You're making me something too, right?
Sure. My treat, Date.
Wait, is you?
You're still looking for him? Well, like I told you before, I don't know.
Ota's cooking in the kitchen. Have you been here before? Of course she's been here before.
Yeah, I have.
Have you met Ota's mother, Mayumi?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't think she likes me.
That's not true. Mom is just jealous of how pretty you are, Tessa.
Not very reassuring. Whether out of jealousy or otherwise, she still doesn't like Iris.
What's your usual?
Omelet rice. Ota's omelet rice is so good it gives me stomach cramps.
Is that a compliment?
You're embarrassing me.
Well, Ota appears to have taken it as a compliment.
About your resurrection.
Iris, about your coming back to life.
Hold it! What do you mean coming back to life?
We explained yet to another person the situation with the highly classified magic dream machine.
Date jumped into a parallel world where I'm still alive.
Tessa died?
Yep.
About the parallel world.
Hey, can you tell me about this parallel world idea in more detail?
Oh, sure. How should I explain this? Well, oh, I know. Let's play rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rochambeau, yeah.
Yeah. If we tie, nothing happens. We just shake hands. If I win, you have to give me something.
What if I win?
I'll do anything.
Anything?
Mm-hmm. Anything.
Date, your heart rate is rapidly increasing. Why exactly is that?
All right, let's do this.
Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Rock.
Shoot.
A tie.
The most boring result. Well, we agreed on the rules. Let's shake hands. Shaky, shaky.
I shook hands with Iris.
We just played rock, paper, scissors, right? We tied and shook hands. But in a different timeline, maybe I got a reward from you. Or maybe you could have seen me naked or something.
Why did I choose rock?
What exactly were you going to make her do?
So those timelines are what I'd call a parallel world.
So you think I jumped from a world in which you were dead to this one where you're alive?
That's what I think.
Huh. Parallel world, huh? I can't believe it, but...
When we established in an earlier scene she wouldn't do that anyway.
Sure you can. Parallel worlds exist.
Also, I need to take some medicine, so I'm going to have to end this episode.
Do you know about the Mandela effect? Or the Booba Kiki effect?
I know what Booba Kiki is, and I know what the Mandela effect is, but also it's a bunch of bollocks. Booba Kiki is the idea that if you draw like a squiggly line, and you draw like a scratchy line, like made out of spikes, and you go to different languages around the planet, the roundy ones, people will call it Booba, and you say, oh, one's called Booba, one's called Kiki. Like, people will associate the spiky thing with Kiki and the rounded thing with Booba. Yeah, I'm gonna...
Or the 100 million balls. If I explained that, would you believe me?
Sounds really interesting, Tessa. I know some urban legends like that. The spatial temporal man, and the lost friend, and the story of two sisters.
Heard people talking about it. Putting a cut right next to the end is really awkward. Right, I've got about 20 minutes. I'm gonna have to sleep. So I'm assuming... Okay, the 100... Oh, I'm gonna have to go through all of these. Okay,
Do you know Nelson Mandela?
I do.
Well, yeah. The former president of South Africa. He helped abolish apartheid.
He died in 2013, but a strange thing happened. When the news broke, people all over the world thought, didn't Mandela die in prison in 1980? That's the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
It's when your memory and history have discrepancies.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's a bunch of bollocks. It's just people misremembering stuff because it's not. I'm pretty sure nobody from that particular country remembers that incorrectly.
There are lots of examples, like the name of this kid's book with the bears having different spellings.
Yeah, the best.
Or people
Bears
remembering
eating
that
bears.
Kennedy was assassinated in a 4-seat car. But in our world, he was in a 6-seat car.
Huh. I thought it was a 4-seater too.
Or that electric mouse from that video game. You probably remember the tip of its tail being black.
It wasn't?
Nope, it's all yellow. And the design didn't change.
Oh.
Sorry, just looking at a picture of Pikachu because I can. No, I suppose not. Fair enough. It's ears though. Like that's not like a parallel world. That's just a really easy mistake to make about the description of somebody. Like, you know, like the fact that people get the quote wrong for Star Wars. I'm just going to have to click.
Lines from movies, company logos, historical events, and little things. The Mandela effect is everywhere. Why do you think that is?
Because
people's-
those memories are from parallel worlds?
That would explain it, I guess.
Yes. I mean, for the sake of this game, sure. But in real life, it's just because memory's not all that reliable. Like Pikachu's ears, black ends, like all of these are very easily explained. The Bubakiki effect.
Dante, look at this picture. There's a famous experiment regarding this picture. You show this image to people around the world and ask a question. Which one is Booba and which one is Kiki? Believe it or not, 98% of people asked have the same answer. The rounder one is Booba and the jagged one is Kiki. Isn't that weird? In other words, everyone thinks that Booba is a certain way and Kiki is the other. It applies universally across languages and cultures. It's like something ingrained inside all humans.
I don't know if it's 98%, but that is true. Well, I mean, the experiment existing is true.
Like worshipping the sun and the sea, or thinking that the mother is soft and the father is jagged. Regardless of your culture or background, you probably think this way. It's what Jung called the collective unconscious. There exists a second psychic system of a collective, universal, and impersonal nature, which is identical in all individuals. That's what Jung said about it. Think of it like bamboo. Bamboo stalks look like individual plants since they're separated. But underground, they're all connected. Human psyches might be like that too, connected at a subconscious level.
That's the plot of
That's-
Persona.
The parallel world?
Yeah! You saved me in the dream, right? And dreams are all about our subconscious minds. So if you follow the roots,
You get to another bamboo stalk.
yeah, something like that.
Seems dubious. 100 million balls!
This world is full of really interesting stuff. But you know the most interesting thing of all?
Yes, I
No,
do.
what?
That humans exist at all.
The universe developed in a very particular way to get here. If things were even slightly different, well, the galaxies and solar system and all of that might not have existed at all.
Ah. But to be able to ask that question, you have to exist. Right? Like, what a human is somebody... a human is somebody clever enough to ask the question, how did I get here, right? So you just need an organism that clever. So all you need is a possibility space that could allow that. Sure, the Goldilocks galaxy, yeah. You arguably you'd need lots of universes, right? Because a universe does need to have a specific Goldilocks set of numbers to have life. Human beings aren't necessarily a rare thing, but life, sure, because you change some of those numbers and you have a dead universe quite easily.
And that means humans would never be born. And even if everything happened exactly like that, the probability of human life developing is extremely low.
I mean, it's not. It's the possibility of human life developing is 1 out of 1. It happened, therefore it happened. And I'm not even being droll. That's the rebuttal to that particular idea. It happened, and the possibility of anything having happening is 1, because it happened. What's the possibility that car? Well, no, I almost made the mistake. If I make up an example, then we don't know the percentage. It hasn't happened. But once it's happened, it's happened. Like, you could, if you toss a coin and you say, oh, what's the possibility of getting it 2 times, 3 times in a row? But like, you have to do it in advance for there to be a possibility space. As like, for somebody to ask, how did this happen? it had to have already happened. Like, that's the point with humans.
And yet, here we are.
There's a word for it as well. For the idea that, you know, humans have to exist to ask that question in the first place. To ask what the possibility is. And also, system... There you go. But why is it called 100 million balls?
Imagine a box full of ping pong balls, labeled 1 to 100 million. Would you be able to pick out the 1?
Not likely.
But what if there were 100 million of you?
Well, then one of us would definitely pick up the 1.
That's not true either.
Exactly! The birth of humanity is so improbable that it's basically a miracle. But if there were multiple universes...
Then it wouldn't be...
But you don't need more than one universe, right? Like... one universe is fucking huge. Like, I guess there is a miracle in place, because it's the you need gravity, you need the strong force, you need the weak force, and you need electromagnetism. You need them to be a particular strength for a universe to exist, like this. So yes, the miracle is that those 4 numbers lined up. Because what determines those 4 numbers, we have no idea. But once you have those 4 numbers, the universe is going to run on logical rules. And to get like a solar system in the Goldilocks zone, I mean, I don't know if you know how big a universe, like a galaxy, the Milky Way, right? Is huge, like absurdly big. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of a show called Star Trek, but like the Star Trek set only in the Milky Way. It's big enough to, like, I know that's a fictional program, but the idea is like they go warp speed and they visit other aliens, but it's all in the Milky Way, because the idea of traveling to Andromeda is absurd even on a Star Trek scale. Of course, like, the guy wrote Andromeda's our neighbour, and it's absurdly far away. Like, they do it in Mass Effect as well. Like, that's the next place to go to, and they do nothing with that premise as far as I know. But like, so statistically speaking, if life is possible, it's going to happen in the universe. We're definitely not alone. Like, we'll never meet another life form, probably. But like, the universe has a lot of galaxies in.
And even if everything happened exactly like...
Strange that at least one of them had humans in it.
She is describing the anthropic principle. I may have underestimated her intelligence.
Yeah, I think that's what I was doing as well. Hang on, what? That's not the anthropic principle. Okay. The anthropic principle in cosmology, any consideration of the structure of the universe, the values and constants of nature, or the laws of nature that have a bearing upon the existence of life. Clearly, humanity's very existence shows the current structure of the universe, and values taken by the constants of nature permit life to exist. That's like what I said is the anthropic principle, not what she said. So it talks about the universe needs to be a particular shape for that to happen. Anyway, I'm not going to read about the anthropic principle. But the point is, yeah, that's like what she described as the exact opposite of what the anthropic principle is. What I said was the anthropic, that the universe, not that they'd have to be hundreds of universes. Two sisters.
So, there's this girl? Let's call her B. She's practicing piano in her room. and her little sister is watching TV in the same room. B asks her to turn the TV volume down so she can hear her piano playing, you know? So B goes back to practicing, playing a little bit. But her sister doesn't turn the volume down. She's not listening at all. So B turns around to scold her. She was really gonna let her sister have it, but she's gone. She's nowhere to be seen. She thinks, I wonder where she went. But then B hears her sister at the door. I'm home. B runs to the front door and sees her sister and her parents standing there. So B asks, when did you go outside? But her mom says, what are you talking about? She went shopping with me. B is really confused by all of this, of course. She asks her little sister about it, and she learns that her favorite TV show was on. And before she went shopping with her mom, she was deciding whether or not she wanted to stay and watch it or not.
So depending on her decision, a parallel world was made.
Yeah.
Okay.
What B saw might have been from the world where her sister stayed behind.
That's a famous story? Maybe it's only famous in Japan. Anything else?
I know a ton of stories like this. Like being suddenly transported 1 year into the future, and there's a missing persons report out for you. You look down at your phone, but you realize that it's not yours. It's not the one you remember having. You look through the contacts, and it's filled with names you don't recognize.
Sounds scary.
Sounds like stories.
There's
though.
more, too. Like this town where everyone is Japanese,
What,
but they're
Japan?
speaking a completely different language. And all the signs and magazines and stuff have different letters. And it's not like Korea or China. It's the Japan we know, but the language is different.
That's a prime example of a parallel world.
But like, where did the stories come from? I understand that you could just come up with stories. The lost friend.
There's this kid, A. He's in elementary school. Well, A had this close friend named Suzuki. One day, after school, they're walking home together. A turns around to tell Suzuki a joke, and Suzuki is laughing his butt off. And he's laughing and laughing, and he laughs so hard that his eyes fall out of their sockets.
What?
Well, they were hanging down out of his eye sockets. The nerves were still connected, but A is of course in shock and doesn't know what to do. Suzuki just takes his eyeballs and jams them back into his eye sockets and keeps walking like nothing happened. So A asks him about it. Like, hey, are you okay? Your eyes fell out. A is really concerned for his friend, you know? But Suzuki just says, yeah, I'm fine. He doesn't say anything about it. And by now, A is really curious. But he's not getting any answers. So they just part ways and go home. The story only gets weirder from here. The next day, A goes to school, and Suzuki's not there. A is confused and asks his teacher about it. Hey, where's Suzuki today? And the teacher says, Suzuki? Who's that? There's no Suzuki in this class. A says, what are you talking about? And he goes and asks all of his classmates about Suzuki. They all say the same thing. I don't know him. There's no Suzuki in this class.
So that kid must have jumped into a parallel world without Suzuki.
Where are these stories coming
That's what
from?
I think.
Couldn't Suzuki just be an imaginary friend or something?
No, A was really serious about remembering Suzuki.
It is weird, and there's no way you can pop your eyeballs back in like that.
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, there's a wrestler.
There's
that
such
did
a
that.
thing as a dislocated eye. It actually isn't too hard to put your eye back in if it falls out.
Ota is correct. Dislocated eyes are easy to replace in their sockets. As long as none of the nerves or blood vessels were damaged, there are usually no lasting negative effects either.
But that doesn't prove this Suzuki exists.
Well, I guess not, but
The spatial temporal man.
yeah, it's sort of like a common experience. A lot of people have experienced waking up in an uninhabited world they've never seen before, and most of them describe seeing the same person. The spatial temporal man. He's supposed to be an ordinary old man wearing work clothes. Spatial temporal man guides people back to the real world. He tells them, This world is not for you, or something.
But like, think of Americans and UFO sightings. Like, if they only ever happens in one country, then that's clearly a weird cultural thing.
I'd like to meet him someday.
What about the others?
So, this elementary school kid, let's call him C. He goes to school and there's a bunch of things on the floor. Postcards, towels, a coffee cup, rice bowls, a sink, lots of stuff.
It's a kitchen sink.
But C realized that those were all things from his own house.
How did they get to the classroom?
No one knows. It's not like anyone did it on purpose or there was a thief or anything.
Maybe something happened that made two parallel worlds fuse.
So,
Yeah.
a lot of, like, this is another story that could be covered by he brought them in and forgot. He just went into a fugue state, did a bunch of stuff, forgot. Because that happens. Like, if you consider, like, all of these are just all the stories that he said were just, like, people being unreliable and remembering wrong. That's a much more reasonable explanation. And I'm somebody who's, like, sure, conceptually, parallel world makes sense. Like, it's just that these stories are really crap evidence. Summarize for me.
When did you two get so knowledgeable?
Oh, I don't know.
Tessa is always writing about this stuff on the internet. That's why I decided to research it too. That's how I learned all this stuff. Oh, hey, I know about conspiracies and secret societies too. I find that stuff fascinating.
Yeah, it was a lot more fun until the internet got a hold of conspiracies.
If you want, we could talk about those.
No, they
Maybe
go bad
next
places.
time. Now where's that omelet rice?
Done!
Ota brought the dish over. He laid out an omelette rice in front of me and Iris. Grabbed a spoon with a huge smile on her face.
Bon appetit!
Picked up a spoonful. No, actually, she tried to pick up a spoonful.
Tessa, are you okay?
I'm fine. My hand slipped. Let's eat.
Iris and I ate the omelette rice in near silence. There was no conversation, just the sound of the spoon hitting the platte, and the diner echoed with it. Before long,
Thanks for the food.
Ikidakimasu. Iris was totally re-energized. Her face was back to her usual easy smile.
That was good. Ota, your omelet rice is seriously the best.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Aw, thanks. I owe it to my dad. He taught me well.
Paid for the food and stood to go.
Let's get going, Iris.
Thanks again.
Thank you! Come back soon!
Right, I'm gonna save my game and say come back soon. Thank you very much for watching this. I've been John Proxy, of course. On the John Shot. Yes, I don't say John Proxy, do I? Anyway.